Hello everyone. Can you really enjoy today without thinking about tomorrow? Let me tell you about an ant and a grasshopper. One hot summer day the sun blazed over a wide green field. The air was thick and heavy with heat. Not a single cloud floated in the sky. An ant was sweating and struggling to carry a heavy grain of corn. Her legs were tiny, but she never stopped. She pushed with all her might. She pulled with both her arms. The grain was twice her size. It wobbled and nearly fell 3 times. But she caught it every single time. Nearby a grasshopper sat on a tall blade of grass. It swayed gently in the soft breeze. He played his little fiddle and sang a cheerful tune. His voice was light and happy. The music drifted across the field like honey. He saw the ant and burst out laughing. He nearly fell off his grass blade. "Why are you working so hard?" he called out. "The sun is warm, the grass is soft. The flowers smell sweet. Come sing with me. Dance with me. Life is too short for all this sweat." The ant wiped her face with a dusty arm. She left a streak of dirt across her cheek. "Winter is coming," she said. Her voice was quiet but steady. "I need to store food now or I will have nothing to eat." The grasshopper just waved his hand and rolled his eyes. "Winter is far away. A lifetime away. You worry too much, my friend. You miss the best parts of today. Look at this sky. Listen to the birds. Why waste such a perfect afternoon?" He played a little trill on his fiddle and winked. Then he leaped into the air and danced away the afternoon. The ant watched him go. She felt a tiny sting in her chest. His music was beautiful. She wanted to sit and listen. She wanted to feel the sun on her back and do nothing at all. But she shook her head. She turned back to her grain. She lifted it with a grunt and kept on walking. She carried grain after grain from morning until dark. Her path from the field to her home became a tiny highway of dust. She stopped only to drink dew from a leaf. She passed other ants who did the same work. They nodded to each other without words. Days passed. Weeks flew by. The grasshopper made music every single day. He played for the bees. He played for the butterflies. He played for the frogs by the pond. They all clapped and cheered. He was the star of the summer. He never gathered a single crumb. He never saved a single seed. Why should he? There was food everywhere. The field gave and gave. The ant built a pantry full of corn and seeds. She stacked them neatly row by row. She counted every piece. She checked for rot and mold. She made sure no water could get in. Her home smelled of earth and grain. Then the leaves turned gold and fell to the ground. The wind changed. It no longer carried the scent of flowers. It carried a cold edge that bit at the skin. The grasshopper noticed it first one morning. He woke up shivering. His leaf had turned brown. He looked around. The field was empty. The flowers were gone. The bees were gone. The butterflies were gone. He felt a knot in his stomach. Cold winds began to blow across the field. They howled at night like hungry wolves. The grasshopper's legs grew stiff. His music stopped. Who wants to play when your fingers are numb? He wandered the field looking for something to eat. He found nothing but dry stems and hard dirt. The ant stayed warm inside her cozy home. She had everything she needed. She ate a small meal each day. She drank water she had stored. She listened to the wind outside and felt safe. One freezing morning, the grasshopper knocked on her door. He had to knock 3 times because his hand was so weak. His legs could barely hold him up. His antennae drooped. His voice was thin and shaky. "Please," he whispered. "It is me, the grasshopper. I am so cold and so hungry. Can you spare just a little food?" The ant heard the sound of his voice. It did not sound like the same grasshopper. There was no music in it. She opened the door a crack. The cold air rushed in. She saw him standing there shivering. He looked small. He looked broken. The ant looked at him for a long moment. She thought about all those summer days she had worked alone. She thought about the sweat and the aching back. She thought about how many times she had wanted to stop. She thought about his music drifting across the field. She remembered how it made her heart feel light for just a second. She could have said, "I told you so." She could have closed the door. She could have let him learn his lesson in the cold. But she opened it instead. "Come in," she said softly. Her voice was not angry. It was tired and kind. "Let me make you something warm." The grasshopper stepped inside. The warmth hit him like a wave. He nearly collapsed. The ant led him to a small table. She poured hot water over dried leaves for tea. She placed a bowl of warm grain in front of him. The grasshopper lowered his head in shame. He could not look at her. He ate slowly while tears ran down his face. They dripped into the bowl. He said, "I was foolish. I was so foolish. I thought tomorrow would take care of itself. I thought the sun would shine forever. I thought my music was enough." The ant poured him some hot tea. She said nothing for a while. She let him eat. She let the silence sit between them. Then she looked him in the eye. "Fun is important," she said. "So is having a plan. You can do both if you are smart about it." The world needs music. But the world also needs food in the pantry. The grasshopper nodded. He understood now. That winter the grasshopper learned to work. He carried his share of food each day. He helped the ant dig new tunnels. He found grains buried under the snow. And in the evenings he still made his music. He played softer now. Slower. But it was still beautiful. The ant would sit and listen. She would close her eyes and smile. The field was never quite so quiet again. That is what this story really means to me. Work hard. Enjoy life. Just do not forget that winter always comes. You can be the ant and the grasshopper both. You can carry your grain and still hear the music. That is the real secret. Do not choose one or the other. Find a way to do both.
能以非母语者的身份专注学习到现在，这本身就是很棒的进步。真诚感谢你的观看。如果你觉得本期内容实用，点赞或留言让我知道你的想法，这对我持续创作非常重要。我们下期见。